Part One of Seven Against Thebes. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Expatriate in Bangor, Maine. Seven Against Thebes by Aeschylus. Translated by Arthur Sanders Way, 1847-1930. Part One. Argument. When Oedipus, king of Thebes, was ware that he had fulfilled the oracle uttered ere he was born, and that he had slain his father, King Laius, and wedded his mother Jocasta, he plucked out his own eyes in his shame and misery. So he ceased to be king. But inasmuch as his two sons rendered to him neither love nor worship, he cursed them with this curse, that they should divide their inheritance with the sword. But they essayed to escape this doom by covenanting to rule in turn year by year. So Eteocles, being the elder, became king for the first year, and Polyneikes his brother departed from the land, lest any occasion of offence should arise. But when after a year's space he returned, Eteocles refused to yield to him the kingdom. Then went he to Adrastus, king of Argos, who gave him his daughter to wife, and led forth a host to war against Thebes. And herein is told how the leaguer of the city was brought to an end by a great assault against her 7 gates led by 7 chiefs of the Argive host, and how the curse of Oedipus was thereby fulfilled. Dramatis Personae. Eteocles, son of Oedipus and king of Thebes. Messenger. Antigone and Ismene, daughters of Oedipus. Herald. Chorus, consisting of Theban maidens. Citizens, guards, and champions attending Eteocles. Scene, on the Acropolis of Thebes in front of the temples. The Seven Against Thebes. Daybreak. A crowd of citizens. To them enter Eteocles. Eteocles. O Cadmus' sons, in season must he speak, who at the state's stern wards the common weal, helming her, closing not his eyes in sleep. For if we fare well, lo, the hand of God! But if, which Heaven forbid, mischance befall, Eteocles only shall all men revile, with clamorous curses everywhere in Thebes. And groans whereof may Zeus, deliverer named, be as his name imports to Cadmus' town. Now must ye all, even he that cometh short of manhood's prime, each in life's autumn tide still fostering goodly growth of stalwart thews, no less than all in life's high noon are fittest, champion our Thebes, the altars of the gods of this soil, that their honours ne'er may die. Our babes, our motherland most loving nurse, for when new born ye crawled on her kind breast, your nurture's burden took she all on her, and reared you to be loyal citizens, buckler arrayed for this her hour of need. Now to this present Fortune smiles on us. For all this time of our beleaguering, by Heaven's grace hath our warfare prospered well. Now, as the seer saith, watcher of the birds, by ears and mind divining without fire, from fowls prophetic with unerring art, he, lord of suchlike divination, saith, by the night's counsel is proclaimed and planned a mighty Achaean onslaught on our town. Hence to the battlements and tower gates hasten ye all, rush battle harnessed on. Man ye the breastworks, on the platforms stand of towers, and at the outgoings of the gates abiding be stout-hearted. Fear not ye the array of aliens, God shall give good speed. Scouts have I sent forth, spies upon their host. I ween they do not loiter on the way. By these warned, shall I not be caught with guile. Enter Messenger. Messenger. Eteocles, mighty king of Cadmus' folk, with tidings clear from yonder host I come, who have myself beheld the things they do. For 7 heroes, squadron captains fierce, over a black-rimmed shield have slain a bull, and, dipping in the bull's blood each his hand, by Ares and Enyo and by Panic, lover of blood, have sworn to raze to earth our walls, and sack with violence Cadmus' burg, or dying with their heart's blood steep her soil. Love‐tokens for their parents in far homes to Adrastus' chariot hung they, shedding tears. But no relenting was there on their lips. For iron‐souled, their heart aflame with courage, panted, like lions' glaring battle‐wrath. Nor falter they to put to proof the issue. But casting lots I left them, that as each drew, against each gate he should lead his troop. Therefore the city's mightiest chosen men Plant at our gates outgoings with all speed. For now the Argive host, all battle dight, Dust‐veiled, is drawing nigh. White gleaming foam, from mouths of horses dripping, Flecks the plains. Thou then, like heedful helmsman of a ship, Make all sure, ere the War‐god's hurricane blast Burst. Hark, the roar, the land‐surge of their host! Seize then the time that earliest shall serve, And for the rest, mine eye shall be a scout Trustworthy. By clear tidings learning all yon foes' designs, Shalt thou be fenced from harm. [Exit. Eteokles. O Zeus, O Earth, O city‐warding Gods, O curse, thou mighty Erinys of my sire, Uproot ye not in utter ruin Thebes, Spoiled by her foes, This town which speaks the tongue of Hellas, And these hearths of Hellene homes. But keep the land free, and 'neath thraldom's yoke Suffer ye never Cadmus' burg to bow. Be her defence, for your name's sake, I pray, For 'tis the prosperous town that honoureth Heaven. [Exit. Enter Chorus tumultuously. Chorus. In anguish exceeding awful I cry. Yon host is unreined. From the place of their camping On flooding, the vanguard steeds come tramping. I know by the dust that soars heaven high A tongueless herald that cannot lie. Lo, the plains of my land re‐echo The knell of hoofs in mine ear. On the wind comes a roaring, As of torrents resistless over hill‐scores pouring. O gods, O goddesses, hearken! Repel the on‐rushing peril, the mischief fell! Rings over our rampart the onset cheer. On charges the host, with their white shields gleaming, Unswerving on to the city streaming. Who shall bring our deliverance near? Of gods, of goddesses, who will hear? Ah, shall I, even now, in suppliance falling, Bow to the statues of the gods, the protectors of our land? O ye blessed, throned in bliss, it is time to clasp and kiss Your images. Why tarry we, a loud lamenting band? Did ye hear it? Hear the clang As the smitten bucklers rang? Bring out the costly vestments, with the flower wreaths draw near. When, save now, on bearing these, shall we chant our litanies? Ah, how plain the clang, the clashing of many and many a spear! Thou who from of old dost ward our Thebes, O battle lord, wilt thou now forsake her, the land that is thine own? God of the golden helm, look down upon thy realm, On the city from of yore for thy well beloved known. Ye whose arms overshadowing enfold us, Gods, come, stoop hitherward all. Pure maidens beseech you, behold us! Save us from thrall. Round the city the war tide's away. Helm plumes are their flying spray, By the War god blown to the fray. Zeus, all controller, uphold us! Our father, let Thebes not fall! For the Argives engird the city of Cadmus, Their arms clang fear. The bits of their steeds clash clear A death knell, death without pity. And in spear‐proof mail chiefs 7, As their stations by lot be given, To the gates draw near. O warrior maid, Zeus' daughter, save Pallas! Thy trident be, Lord of the ocean water And of chivalry, our deliverance from terrors. And thou, for Cadmus' sake, turn now battleward Ares thy brow. O our ancestress Kypris, from slaughter shield us, thy blood are we. We draw nigh thee with prayer and strong crying, Such as heaven‐abiders attend. Wolf‐king, as a wolf do thou rend Yon foemen, assuage thou our sighing. Child of Latona, thy quiver Make ready, thy suppliants deliver. Queen huntress, befriend. Round the city the roar of many a rattling car. Queen Hera I hear. The naves of the massy axles with griding jar Shriek, Artemis dear! Winnowed with spears mad moans the tormented air. What chasm of doom before Thebes yawneth there? What end, woe's me and alas, do the gods prepare? The sling-stone sleet our battlements' summits hath skimmed. Apollo, our lord! In our gates is the clashing of bucklers brazen‐rimmed. Yet from Zeus the award of the struggle shall come, the righteous issue of fight. Blest Queen, be thou to the burg seven‐gated a light of deliverance. Onka, thou rescue thine home in thy might. Gods all‐sufficient, bringers of salvation, who ward our towers alway, leave it not for a spoil, this war‐worn nation, to alien array. Hearken, while with pure hands of supplication your maidens pray. Gods, Thebes' defenders, in her tribulation your love for her display. Care for her temples, shrines of adoration. Be ye their strength and stay. On those burnt offerings of propitiation think ye this day. Re-enter Eteokles. Eteokles. Yourselves I ask, ye spawn intolerable, is this well? Makes it for deliverance of Thebes, for heartening of her leaguered host, to cower by statues of our guardian gods, with shrieks, yelps, things which decency abhors? Nor in misfortune nor prosperity may I be housemate with these women‐folk. In power their arrogance can none abide. In fear they are ruin to the state and home. Yea, now by this wild panic have ye filled the citizens with spiritless cowardice. Ye give our foes all aid that in you lies. We from within are ruined by ourselves. Such gain shall thine be who with women dwell'st. If any hearken not to my command, man, woman, or aught intermediate, sentence on him the shard of doom shall pass. The folk shall stone him, he shall not escape. Foes for the man! Let woman meddle not with such. Make thou not mischief, bide within. Hast heard, or not? Or speak I to the deaf? Chorus. Dear Oedipus' scion, I quailed to hear the thunder of chariots near, when the naves of the whirling wheels were screaming, and the fire‐forged bits, the helms of fear, in the restless mouths of the war‐steeds gleaming. Eteokles. What then? By craven flight, from stern to prow, findeth the mariner deliverance, when in the sea‐surge laboureth the keel? Chorus. But I, to the ancient statues I fled of the gods, when the sleet of the death‐snow dread roared in our gates, putting trust in their pity, I cried in my fear to the Blessed, to spread their shield of protection over the city. Eteokles. Pray that our towers repel the spear of foes. Chorus. Will not our gods assure this? Eteokles. Say not men that all her gods forsake a captured town? Chorus. Oh, not while I live may the gods that stand here gathered depart, nor be Thebes beholden in turmoil of panic by foeman's brand all flame enfolden. Eteokles. Be thou not traitorous by thy cries to heaven. Obedience, mother of good speed, is wedded unto divine protection, saith the saw. Chorus. But the might of the gods is higher than all. Yea, oft in affliction this upraises the helpless from woe, when it hangs as the pall of a cloud o'er their faces. Eteokles. Men's part is this, to offer sacrifice unto the gods, when foes essay our wall. Thine to keep silence and abide within. Chorus. By the gods' grace, ours is a city unquelled, and the throng of her foes have our towers repelled. At this what jealous power is offended? Eteokles. I blame thee not for honouring the gods. But, lest thou cause the people's heart to faint, be still and be not overmuch afraid. Chorus. At that strange clashing, in panic affright of huddled confusion, up to the height of the citadel's hallowed abode I ascended. Eteokles. Do thou not, if thou hear of dying men or wounded, greet them with wild wailing cries. For on such panic Ares batteneth. Chorus. Ah, yes, I hear the snortings of the steeds. Eteokles. Take heed, lest hearing thou too plainly hear. Chorus. Deep groans the city by her foes beset. Eteokles. Suffice that I take counsel for all this. Chorus. I fear. Loud grows the battering at the gates. Eteokles. Silence! Say not this in the city's ears. Chorus. Conclave of gods, forsake our towers not. Eteokles. A malison on thee! Endure in silence. Chorus. Citizen gods, from thraldom save me, save! Eteokles. Thou bringest me thyself in Thebes to thrall. Chorus. Turn on our foes that shaft, almighty Zeus. Eteokles. Zeus, what a curse thy gift of woman is! Chorus. Ay, wretched, even as men whose town is ta'en. Eteokles. With cries ill-boding dost thou clasp their statues? Chorus. Yea, my heart fails, my tongue is thrall to fear. Eteokles. Wouldst thou but grant one small boon at my prayer? Chorus. Name it with all speed, and I straight shall know. Eteokles. Be silent, cowering wretch. Daunt not thy friends. Chorus. I am silent. With them will I bear my doom. Eteokles. Rather I choose this than thy former strain. And furthermore, letting yon statues be, Pray for the best, that gods may champion us. Give ear to this my vow. Thereafter raise the sacred paean, the auspicious cry, The Hellene rite of sacrifice acclaim, To hearten friends, to banish dread of foes. Lo, I unto the gods that ward our land, That haunt our plains, that watch our market stead, To Dirce's fount and to Ismenus' streams, Vow, for good speed and for our city saved, With blood of sheep to stain their altar hearths, And sacrifice of bulls, and so uprear Our trophies, and with raiment of our foes, With spear‐won spoils, to drape their hallowed fanes. In such strain to the gods pray, not with moans Poured forth, nor yet with sobbings vain and wild. For none the more shalt thou escape thy fate. But I will go, and station champions 6, Myself the 7th, at our 7 rampart gates, There to confront the foe heroically, Ere hurrying messengers and urgent words Come, and by stress of need set all aflame. [Exit. Chorus. I heed thee, yet no rest Hushes mine heart oppressed. Fears riot in my breast With fiery wrestlings. Yon leaguer of the spear I dread as cushats fear Snake nestmates drawing near unto their nestlings. Ranks, squadrons, nations all March on against our wall. What shall to us befall? Each warder's station Is stormed at with sharp stones. O Zeus‐born heavenly ones, To Cadmus' burg and sons send down salvation. What goodlier land shall be henceforth your home, If ye yield to an enemy for spoil for slaughters, This and our Dirce's spring? Such flood nor Ocean's king did e'er from earth's womb bring, Nor Tethys' daughters. God warders, thrill dismay through these. Let their array Death‐doomed cast shield away in panic flying. So grant this folk renown. So marble‐throned look down On this war‐ransomed town who heard her crying. Alas, that Hades' ward, spear‐spoiled, be thrust, This burg of olden fame, That gods should suffer her in crumbling dust Enslaved, to slake the Achaeans' murder‐lust, Wasted with shame; Whose women thraldom‐ward a rude hand forces, Matrons and maids unwed Haled with rent vesture by the hair, As horses caught by the mane are led. And shrieks the city fast dispeopled, While with wails tumultuous forth her children file. Dire doom for you I dread. Alas, that maids whose girlhood scarce hath fled On paths of miseries should ere the spousal rites From home be sped. Shall I not count the portion of the dead Better than these? Yea, for the city which a foe o'erpowereth Meets manifold ill doom. Folk are dragged captive. Here the sword devoureth, and there the flames consume. Smoke smirched is all the town. The Lord of Death Withers the fear of God with his mad breath, a nation blasting fume. Through all the stricken tumults reign. Foes tower like hem her round. Men turning desperately to bay are slain. The dying screams resound Of suckling babes that writhe in mortal pain, Dashed blood-drenched on the ground. Sister of hurrying tumult, rapine raveth, Spoiler bars spoiler's way. To empty-handed Reaver waveth a hand, "Come share the prey." Yet he nor less nor equal portion craveth. Can speech the rest portray? Down mid the dust earth's fruit, a mingled store, Hands of the wasters hurl. The housewife's eyes behold, in anguish sore, Where down the wild flood whirl Earth's precious gifts, confused with refuse, o'er destruction's eddy and swirl. And wretched captive maids now first are learning What thraldom's horrors be, When the triumphant foe, with fierce lust burning, Gloats o'er their agony. "Come, night of death," they moan, with anguished yearning, "From misery rescue me." Half Chorus 1. Yon scout, meseemeth, from our war array Comes bearing us some tidings, O my friends, Speeding his hurrying feet like chariot wheels. Half Chorus 2. Lo, here our king, the son of Oedipus! His coming times to hear the messenger. His haste withal outrunneth his foot's speed. Enter Eteokles from right, and Messenger from left. Messenger. I bring word from sure knowledge of our foes, How each by lot is stationed at each gate. How nigh the Proetian gate doth Tydeus rage. Not yet the prophet suffereth him to cross His Manus, for the victims bode not well. So Tydeus, fuming for the fight debarred, Roareth as hisses a snake in mid‐noon heat, Stabbing with taunts the wise seer, Oicleus' son, Crying, "Faint heart, from doom in fight dost flinch." Therewith he shakes the three dark shadowing crests That o'erstream his helm, and 'neath his targe Bells forged of brass are knelling terror forth. And his shield bears this arrogant device, A sky emblazoned, flashing all with stars. And bright the full moon in his buckler's midst Shines, queen of all the stars, the eye of night. Thus he in arms vainglorious raving shouts Beside the river banks afire for fight, Like steed that pants with fury against the bit, Straining, the while he waits the trumpet's call. Whom wilt thou range against him? Who can stand our champion When the Proetian bolts give way? Eteokles. O warrior's trappings! Not at such I quail. No power to wound hath any blazonry. Crests, bells, they cannot bite without the spear. And for this knight that on his shield, thou say'st, Is pictured glittering with the stars of heaven, To him prophetic that conceit may prove. For if night fall upon his dying eyes, To its bearer this vainglorious blazonry Truly shall prove, and justly pertinent. His prophecy of insult threaten himself. Against yon Tydeus, Astacus' staunch son, Will I for warder of this gate array, Right nobly born, a man who honoureth Modesty's throne, who hateth arrogant speech. No dastard he, but slow to deeds of shame, Sprung of the old stock which the War god spared. The sown men, truest scion of the soil, Melanippus. Ares' dice shall judge their strife. But Justice, his blood‐sister, marshals him to ward The land that bare him from the spear. Chorus. The gods vouchsafe our champion victory this day, For armed with justice forth he goes to fight for Thebes. Yet, oh, I dread to see the doom of our defenders, Bloodily slain by their foes. Messenger. The gods vouchsafe this man even so may speed. Kapaneus takes by lot the Electran gate, A giant champion, huger framed than that aforesaid. More than mortal is his vaunt with horrors threatening Thebes, which fate forfend. If God will, I will raze the town, he saith. Yea, if he will not, even the wrath of Zeus To earth down flashing should not stay his hand. Lightnings and thunderbolts, he cries, to him Are of no more account than noontide heats. His blazon one unclad, who bears a torch. Flames in his hands the firebrand ready dight. And I will burn Thebes, golden letters say. To meet this man send, who shall close with him? Who, without quailing, shall abide his vaunts? Eteokles. Lo, here of vantage is new vantage born. For mark how of the vain conceits of men Their tongue becometh true accuser still. Kapaneus threatens, all prepared for deeds, Flouting the Gods, wagging a blatant tongue With vain glee. And this mortal heavenward hurls Loud billowy surging words against high Zeus. I trust the flame‐wrapped bolt shall find him out By justice guided, nought in semblance Like unto the noontide fervours of the sun. Against him, be he ne'er so braggart‐tongued, A warrior fiery‐souled is matched, the might Of Polyphontes, warder staunch by grace Of Artemis our guardian, and all Gods. The next chief named, to the next gate assigned. Chorus. Perish the man who vaunts against our walls. Oh, may the bolt of levin blast him here, Ere burst his furious feet into mine halls, Ere we from maiden bowers be driven, thralls Of his proud spear. Messenger. Now will I name the warrior assigned to the next gate. For Eteocles leapt the third lot From the inverted brazen helm to hurl His squadron against Neis' gate. His car steeds in their trappings snorting loud He wheels, afire to dash against the gates. In guise barbaric do their nose‐bands pipe, Filled with the breath that from their nostrils blares. In pompous fashion blazoned is his shield. A man‐at‐arms ascends the ladder's steps To a tower of foes, with purpose to destroy, Shouting by letters ranged in syllables: "Not Ares' self shall from these bastions hurl me. Wherefore against this man send one whose might Avails to shield this town from thraldom's yoke." Eteokles. Straight will I send. Ha! By good hap already forth is one sent, Who bears in deeds his boast, Megareus, Creon's scion of the Sown, Who nowise cowed by noise of steeds That snort in frenzy, shall flinch back from yonder gate. Slain, he shall pay our land his nurture debt. Or 2 men and a city on a shield, With blood‐stained spoils shall deck his father's house. Vaunt of another, spare me not the tale. Chorus. Champion of Thebes, O grant thou triumph renown To our warrior, rob thou his foes of their heart's desire. Even as proudly they vaunt against our town Mad‐hearted, so upon them may Zeus look down With avenging ire. Messenger. The fourth, who takes the gate that riseth nigh Onco Athena's fane, stands shouting there, Hippomedon's grim form and giant mould. I shuddered as he tossed the mighty round His targe*s circle, I deny it not. No 'prentice hand in blazonry had he Who overlaid his shield with that device. Fire‐breathing Typhon, belching through his lips The black smoke, sister unto flickering flame. From a foundation rim of coiling snakes Swells the round targe*s hollow arching dome. He shouted there, possessed by Ares, raves Like Maenad for the onslaught glaring death. With heed must we beware this man's essay, For at our gates already panic vaunts. Eteokles. First Oncopalus, dweller nigh our town, Hard by that gate shall loathe his insolence, And from her nestlings drive this dragon fell. And as a man to face this man is chosen Hyperbius, Oenop's loyal son, full fain To learn his doom in fortune's utmost stress. In goodlihead, in courage, and in arms Beyond reproach, Hermes hath matched them well. Man shall meet man with all the fury of hate, And foes the Gods are who upon their shields Shall clash and fight. One bears fire‐breathing Typhon, But Father Zeus is on Hyperbius' shield Firm seated, with his blazing bolt in hand. And none saw ever yet Zeus overcome. Even such deities hath each to friend, We on the conquering side, they on the vanquished. If Zeus, then Typhon mightier proved in fight. Even so, meseemeth, these 2 foes shall fare. Be Zeus Hyperbius' saviour, on whose shield He sitteth, as accords with his device. Chorus. Oh, I trust that the champion who beareth Zeus' foe on his buckler, the shape of the demon of darkness abhorred, who is hateful to men, yea, even in counterfeit show, and to gods ever‐living, shall yet at our gates bow low his head 'neath the sword. End of Part One. Recording by Expatriate in Bangor, Maine. Part II. Of Seven Against Thebes, by Aeschylus, translated by Arthur Sanders Way, 1847–1930. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Expatriate in Bangor, Maine. Part II. Messenger. So be it. Now the fifth withal I name, unto the fifth the north‐east gate assigned, hard by Zeus‐born Amphion's sepulchre. He sweareth by his spear, wherein he trusts more than a god for worship, better than eyes, that he in Zeus' despite will waste the burg of Cadmus. So the stripling hero speaks, the mountain‐haunting mother's fair‐faced son. Yet through his cheeks the down looks forth, but now when first his spring puts forth close clustering hair. In ruthless mood, not like his mild maid name, and with grim eye he stands defying us. Yea, not without his vaunt he fronts our gates. For the reproach of Thebes upon his shield, brass forged, the orbed bulwark of his breast, he swung, the ravening Sphinx, made fast thereto with rivets, hammer wrought, a gleaming shape, beneath her clutching one of Cadmus' sons, so that on him might darts be chiefly showered. He shall be no mean trafficker in fight, nor shall he shame the long path he hath trod, Arcadian Parthenopeus, and this man, alien, yet paying to Argos nurture's debt, threatens our towers with that which God forfend. Eteokles. After their pride may Heaven deal with them. Then shall they perish foully, utterly, they and those godless vaunts of their own mouths. For him, too, this Arcadian whom thou nam'st, a man unboastful, of no deedless hand, waits Actor, brother of the aforenamed chief, who shall not suffer a tongue divorced from deeds to burst within our gates and work us woe, nor suffer him to pass therethrough, who bears that loathly monster's semblance on his shield, which from within shall chide her bearer loud, clanging with fierce fast battering 'neath the wall. So please the gods, this shall be truth I speak. Chorus. Thy tale through my bosom hath thrilled, and my tresses of hair upstand For the impious mouths that are filled with vaunting. May God's own hand dash them to death in our land. Messenger. I name the sixth, the man most temperate souled, the warrior seer, Amphiaraus' might. He to the Homoloian gate assigned, once and again upbraideth Tydeus' might As murderer, as troubler of the land, as unto Argos chiefest guide to wrong, The Erinnys' martial minister of blood, tempter of King Adrastus to this wrong. Therefore to thy brother Polyneikes appealing, lifting up his eyes to heaven, and at the end twice syllabling his name, arraigns him. This word breaketh from his lips: Thy deed is like thy name, welcome to heaven, glorious for after days to hear, to tell, That on thy father's town, thy country's gods, thou hast brought an alien host to ravage them. A mother's blood, what justice stauncheth it? And shall thy motherland, by thine ambition spoiled with the spear, be ever thine ally? For me, I know I shall make fat this soil, a prophet buried in a hostile land. On to the fight! I look for no base doom. So spake the seer, and raised his brazen shield fair rounded. Blazonry was none thereon, for he would fain not seem, but be the best, Who tilleth the deep furrows of his soul, wherefrom a harvest of good counsel springs. Against him send antagonists wise and good, I rede thee. Dread the foe who fears the gods. Eteokles. Woe for the omen that with impious men Joineth a righteous man in fellowship! Than evil converse, in all enterprise Nothing is worse. Its harvest let none reap. Infatuation's field hath death for fruit. If the God‐fearing man for shipmates hath a crew hot‐hearted in iniquity, with that God‐hated tribe he perisheth. The righteous man who dwells with citizens, traitorous to guests and reckless of the gods, is justly taken in the self‐same net, lashed by the same impartial scourge of God. Even so this seer, even this Oikleus' son, just, sober, good, God‐fearing though he be, this mighty prophet with the impious joined, whose shameless tongues shout down their conscience' voice, far marching to the bourne whence none returns, shall, if Zeus will, be dragged down, down with them. Yet will he not assail the gate, I trow, not for that he is craven or spiritless, but in this fight he knoweth he must die. If Loxias' oracles shall bear their fruit, yet against him, the might of Lasthenes, gate warder stern to strangers, will we range, who bears a greybeard's brain, but youthful thews, who loveth silence or else timely speech, whose eye is swift to mark, nor slow his hand to snatch from under shield the spear made bare. But for success, that is the gift of God. Chorus. Ye gods, to our prayers give ear. Grant Thebes to prevail at the last. Her invaders hurl back on the spear. May Zeus from our towers' height cast these, and his levin bolt blast. Messenger. The seventh unto the seventh gate assigned will I name, thine own brother. And the doom he prays and imprecates upon our town, that he, the outlaw band, may scale our walls, may shout his triumph paean over Thebes, may meet thee, slay thee, yea, beside thee die, or upon thee avenge his exile shame, banishing thee as thou didst banish him. So shouteth Polyneikes' might, and calls upon the gods into his fatherland native, right graciously to heed his prayers. A new‐wrought shield, fair moulded to his arm he hath, with twofold blazon wrought thereon. A man in beaten gold, a warrior mailed, a woman leads, with calm staid mien leads on. Justice she names her, as the letters tell. I, Justice, bring this man home. He shall hold his father's city and his palace halls. Even such are the devices of yon men. Thyself advise thee now. Ah, whom wilt send? Well, for false tidings me thou ne'er shalt blame. Thyself advise thee how to helm the state. Eteokles. O heaven frenzied! O by gods abhorred! O lamentable line of Oedipus! Woe for my father's curses now fulfilled! Yet tears beseem not, nor lamentings now, lest wail have birth yet more intolerable. But for this Polyneikes, fitly named, soon shall we know what comes of that device, if gold‐wrought letters flaunting on his shield, and witless wandering phantasms, home shall bring him. If ever Justice, virgin child of Zeus, his deeds or thoughts' companion, might this be. But neither when from darkness of the womb he leapt, nor with his childhood nor his youth, nor when the beard 'gan cluster on his chin, hath Justice looked on him or deigned to own. Nor in this outrage on his fatherland will Justice stand beside him now, I ween. She were misnamed. Right justly should one say, Justice, consorting with the reckless souled. Trusting herein, will I go forth myself and meet him, who hath better right than I. As chief meets chief, brother shall brother meet, and the foe meet hated foe. Thou bring with speed greaves, spear and shield, my fence from storming stones. Chorus. Dearest of men, O son of Oedipus, be not in mood like him, the evil named. Suffice that hand to hand Kadmeians close with Argives, sacrifice may expiate this. But death of brothers slain by brother hands, never the stain of this pollution fades. Eteokles. This, could I suffer wrong without disgrace, might be. The one prize in death's hand is honour. But wrong with shame, there is no glory there. Chorus. Wherefore so eager, my son? O let Ate, the demon of wrath, mad for the battle, not hurry thee ruinward. Spurn from thy path evil desire in the bud. Eteokles. Since heaven thrusts the deed with fury on, Abhorred by Phoebus, let all Laius' line Drift helmless to its bourne, Cocytus' wave. Chorus. Lust for revenge, as with fangs of a serpent, is stinging thee, son, on to a murder whose fruit shall be bitterness, stinging thee on to accursed outpouring of blood. Eteokles. I, for accomplished now my father's curse, hard-eyed and tearless sitteth at my side, whispering of gain better than death deferred. Chorus. Ah, be not vehement. Craven shalt thou never be in man's eyes, holding with honour to life. Nor in blackness of storm from the skies Down on thine halls the Erinues shall swoop, when the sacrifice from thine hands shall the gods receive. Eteokles. The gods? Long since they ceased to care for us, And marvel at gifts from lost ones such as we. Why should I cringe to melt the heart of doom? Chorus. Nay, while thou mayest, O do it. Thy fortune as storm blasts may veer, Yet from her purpose of fury may change, And though late she appear, Come, as with balmier breeze, As with lulling of billows draw near, Now still doth her wrath surge heave. Eteokles. Yes, high the curses surged of Oedipus. Too true my visions were of phantoms seen In sleep, dividers of my father's wealth. Chorus. Ah, yield to women, though thou love them not. Eteokles. Ask that which may be granted. Briefly ask. Chorus. Tread not this path to guard the seventh gate. Eteokles. I am whetted steel. Thy words shall blunt me not. Chorus. Yet victory yielded God despiseth not. Eteokles. No warrior mailed may to such words consent. Chorus. Wouldst pluck for triumph wreath a brother's life? Eteokles. So the gods grant it. Doom he shall not 'scape. [Exit. Chorus. Ah, I shudder at the god who hath blasted yon abode, God ungodlike, yet unerring, evil boding, Whom the prayer of a father by its spell Drew, a Fury, up from hell, to fulfil The curse of Oedipus, his wrath of mad despair. And the feud that blasts his children ever thrusts the demon on. And the steel of ruthless heart their inheritance shall part. The alien from the iron land shall cast their lot of doom. Bitter portioner of treasure, shall the Scythian stranger measure, And allot them land to dwell in, ay, the dead man's share, a tomb. But in Thebes far stretching Leland's lot or portion have they none. When pierced by a brother hand, as men self-slain they have died. And down through the thirsty sand to the nether gloom Ebbs life's tide. Who shall loose guilt's fetters unchaining? Who cleanse from the curse of its staining? O house whereon evils are reigning, Ills ancient and new side by side! Ah, sin of the olden days! Ah, swift retribution it brought! To the third generation it stays, Since Apollo to Laius taught, By earth mid‐naval oracles pealing, In Pytho, for fates revealing, That his childlessness life was and healing For Thebes, yet he set it at nought. Overborne by his friends' mad prayer, He begat for his own self‐doom Oedipus, father slayer, Who sowed in the field of the womb In a mother's sacred body A seed whose harvest was bloody. O madness it was linked there, The infatuate bride and groom! The sea of calamity brings a surge three‐crested, To soar o'er the surge that subsides, And it swings o'er our bulwarks with foam whirl and roar. And between us and death stands the thickness of the wall of one tower, And in sickness of fear we cry, Thebes with her kings shall perish for evermore. The ship of state that with an ancient curse is freighted Beareth heavy merchandise. The bloated wealth of godless traffickers Escapeth not when ruin's tempests rise, But bringeth utter wreck to all their enterprise. Lo, who of men in such high honour once By gods and rulers of our Thebes was held, And by the thronged assembly of her sons, As Oedipus, who that death cloud dispelled That overgloomed the land, that fiend of raven quelled? Ah, when he recognized that bitter bridal. Woeful for him in anguish of despair, Maddened in soul, with fingers parricidal, Out of their sockets twain his eyes he tare. Hissed at his sons, who cared not to dissemble Scorn of a king discrowned, his curse: "The sword 'twixt you shall part your heritage!" I tremble, lest the avenging sprite fulfil the word. Enter Messenger. Messenger. Fear not, O daughters yet by mothers nursed. This city hath escaped from thraldom's yoke. Abased the vauntings are of violent men. Still water Thebes hath won, hath shipped no sea, In multitudinous buffetings of surge. Each tower withstands assaults, our gates be fenced With warder champions, strong in single fight. Yea, well nigh all is well, even at 6 gates. But the 7th gate the awful Lord of Seven, Even King Apollo, chose, in Oedipus' line, To consummate King Laius' ancient folly. Chorus. What new mishap hath lighted upon Thebes? Messenger. Heroes lie slain by brother, slaughtering hands. Chorus. Who? What saidst thou? I am distraught with fear. Messenger. Now calm thee, hear. The sons of Oedipus Chorus. Ah, woe is me! Mine heart forebodeth ills. Messenger. Past all denial, they are stretched in dust. Chorus. There lay they, there? Yet tell the heavy news. Messenger. By brother hands too surely were they slain. Chorus. To both alike impartial Fortune was. Messenger. She is destroying all the ill-starred line. Herein is food for joy, and tears withal, In that Thebes fareth well, but those her kings, The chieftains twain, with hammer‐beaten steel Of Scythia have divided all their wealth. Yet of this land shall they but gain them graves. Swept down the flood of their sires' fatal prayers. Our Thebes is saved. But, for the brother kings, by mutual slaughter Earth hath drunk their blood. [Exit. Chorus. O mighty Zeus, O powers that ward our city, even ye who guard These towers Kadmeian, shall I rejoice? Shall I bid ring triumphant to our Saviour King My thankful paean? Or shall I weep the hapless slain, Ill‐fated battle chieftains twain, The brother foemen, Them, whose unnatural strife was stilled In death, who truly so fulfilled Their name's dark omen? Woe for the curse, the black curse self‐fulfilling, To end the race of Oedipus that came! Terror upon my heart lies spirit‐chilling. And for all song a death‐dirge must I frame. Ay, for I chant, frenzied with Thyiad passion, A wail o'er them who perished wretchedly. A hymn of evil omen, lo, I fashion Now, in the stead of psalms of victory. A father's curse with fateful foot that failed not, Pressed to its goal, fulfilment hath it found. Laius at prophecies of warning quailed not, Therefore in troubled sea our Thebes is drowned. Sword like the word through man's resistance cleaving Carves out its ends. Woe, princes, for your doom! Woe for your deeds, the horrors past believing! Anguish and wail in various deed are come. Enter procession, bearing the corpses of the brothers, Antigone and Ismene following. Herald of evil, lo, the confirmation Comes of thy tale. Twin fratricides this day, dead in our sight. Such awful consummation now hath the curse doom. What remains to say? What, save to wail the curse that haunteth ever This house, by woes on woes forsaken never? Smite the head now, with hands whose oar‐like beating Speeds over Acheron down the gale of sighs. Ever the bark black sailed, all shadowy fleeting Onward, on unblest embassy that flies Unto the land unseen of any living, Sunless, untrodden of Phoebus all receiving. But hitherward on bitter mission, lo, Ismene cometh with Antigone. Their bosoms o'er their brothers slain, I trow, Shall pour with love that knows not friend from foe The yearning threnody. And we, before their cry of lamentation Peals out, must chant the avengers' joyless hymn, Must ringing send the song of desolation Through Hades' mansions dim. O sisters brotherless! O sorrow‐stricken beyond all them that wear the clasping zone, for you my tears unfeigned, my sighings thicken, my heart makes moan. Madmen, whose ears were deaf to interceding of love, hard hearts of hardships all unheeding, wretches whose fury wrecked the ancient home, yea, wretches who have brought a royal house to naught, and for yourselves have won a wretched doom. Thou that didst clutch thine home's wall, down to tear it, thou that didst clutch the crown, that none might share it, a bitter crown for thee! The sword hath made peace between thee and thee. The debt too faithfully of that wild curse the avenging sprite hath paid. Through their hearts the steel clave, through the hearts of these slain, yet one mother gave one birth to the twain. Woe for the curse that from heaven descended in murder rain! Even so, on these brethren hath come a deadliest blow, to the heart, to the home, brethren estranged by unspeakable hate, by a father's doom. All the city is moved unto sighs, her towers groan. For her children beloved the whole land maketh moan. Fair prizes, that stirred the ill‐starred ones to grapple to death for a throne. With spirits aflame to that sharing they turned. Lo, their share is the same, for the whole though they yearned. But the daysman is cursed of their lovers, no thanks hath the War god earned. Smitten and carven with iron, in such ill plight are they lying. And a prize, one carven with iron, for him as for him doth abide. What prize can there be for the dead, one asketh? Answer him, crying: Pallas' iron delved in their fatherland, side by side. And the wail far‐piercing shall speed them, a home for a home who are leaving, sighing that rendeth the breast, grief from the soul that springs, grief from a torn heart joyless, and tears of unfeigned grieving. For my heart is weeping itself away for the twain, my kings. What praises shall Hades' words waft them, o'er these forlorn ones pealing? Say of him like a hero he battled, ah me, with his motherland. And of him, from his terrible onset the ranks of the aliens reeling, heaps upon heaps, war blasted, fell 'neath his ruining hand. Woe for the woman who bare them, ill‐starred beyond all other was she, yea, more than they all which have borne the fruit of the womb. Her son for a husband she took to herself, she became their mother. One seed! And such end have they found, who gave each to his brother a tomb. O yea, of one seed were the twain, of their heritage made they partition. In no loving kindness, nay, but in madness of strife was it done, and their feud's consummation, behold, is their own and their house's perdition. Ceased is their hate, in the earth their blood mingles, the twain are at one. Oh, but in truth are they now of one blood, and a bitter decider of this their dispute was the oversea stranger that leapt out of fire, even the whetted steel. Of possessions a bitter divider was the war‐fiend, who brought to fulfilment the curse of a father's ire. They cast lots for their heritage. Each hath the share that the curse did bequeath them, a share of the crown of sorrows that Zeus did bestow. Of the soil that they craved have they plummetless wealth in the earth‐bed beneath them. They have set on the head of their house a garland of manifold woe. At the last these curses have shouted the shriek of their terrible paean over the house that is shattered in utterest disarray. Ruin's trophy is reared in the gates fratricidal, the gates Cadmean. These two hath the fiend of the house destroyed, now his hand doth he stay. Dirge of Antigone and Ismene. Antigone. Thou thy smiter didst smite. Ismene. Thou in slaying didst die. Antigone. Thy spear slew in fight. Ismene. Spear slain dost thou lie. Antigone. Ah, the struggle! Ismene. The pain! Antigone. Oh, I weep for the slain! Ismene. For the slayer I cry. Antigone. Shrieks madden mine heart. Ismene. Through my soul moans the keen. Antigone. All lamented thou art. Ism. O thou measureless teen! Antig. Brother slayer. Ism. And slain. Antig. That my tongue should have said it. Ism. Mine eyes should have seen. Antig. Woes answer to woes. Ism. Ay, as yours is our plight. Together. Ah, the fate that bestows Gifts void of delight, She in Oedipus' shade, And the gloomy Erinnys resistless in might. Antig. Dread sights did ye show. Ism. Back from exile who sped. Antig. For the victor lies low. Ism. The survivor fell dead. Antig. Empty-handed is loser. Ism. And winner. Antig. O lost house! Ism. Happiness fled. Antig. Saddest kindred of woes. Ism. Heaped up to the height. Together. Ah, the fate that bestows Gifts void of delight, She in Oedipus' shade And the gloomy Erinnys resistless in might. Antig. This, for thou provest it, 'twas thine to learn. Ism. This thou didst no whit later understand. Antig. When unto Thebes thou didst essay return. Ism. With spear in hand. Antig. Horror to tell! Ism. To see. Antig. Ah, strife! Ism. Ah, misery! Antig. To fatherland and home. Ism. And more than all, to me. Antig. O thou who hadst a lordship in calamity. Ism. Ye for whom more than all men we may weep. Antig. O demon-ridden ye, for ruinous bane! Ism. Woe and alas! Where shall we lay these twain? Antig. In sepulchres most royal lay our slain. Ism. Ay, there to vex the sire by whom they sleep. Enter Herald. Herald. The pleasure and decree must I announce Of this Kadmeian city's senators, To Eteocles for his patriotism A grave dug in the land that loveth him. For beating back our city's foes he died. Guiltless of wrong to fanes ancestral, Clear of blame, he hath died where youths with glory die. Such my commission is as touching him. His brother Polyneikes' corse they bid Cast forth unburied for a prey to dogs, As one who had overthrown this Kadmus' land, Except some god against his spear had stood Opposed. His country's gods shall even in death Hold him polluted, for in scorn of them He brought an alien host to capture Thebes. Therefore decree they that his recompense Be shameful burial in maws of kites, That no hands minister to heap for him A mound, no wails wild ringing honour him, That no friends do him grace of sepulture. Thus the Kadmeian magistrates decree. Antig. But I to your Kadmeian rulers say, Though none beside lend help to bury him, I will entomb him, I the peril dare Of burying my brother, nor think shame Of this, my contumacy unto Thebes. How dare I slight the flesh wherefrom we sprang, The woeful mother and the hapless sire? Therefore with joy share thou his joyless state, My soul, and live leal sister to thy dead. My brother's flesh shall no lean‐bellied wolves mangle. Let no man think such thing shall be. His tomb, the delving of his grave, Myself, weak woman though I be, Will I devise. Yea, bear earth in my linen mantle's lap, And hide him so. Let none think contrariwise. The bold heart shall not lack the cunning hand. Herald. I bid thee, thou defy not Thebes herein. Antig. I bid thee, waste thy warnings not on me. Herald. Stern is a people newly 'scaped from ruin. Antig. Stern be they. He shall not unburied lie. Herald. Whom Thebes abhors, wilt thou with burial honour? Antig. Even I, since gods have ceased to honour him. Herald. Nay, not till he imperilled this our land. Antig. Evil entreated, evil he repaid. Herald. In vengeance on us all for one man's wrong. Antig. Contention last of all gods ends dispute. Him will I bury, multiply not words. Herald. At thine own peril do it, I forbid thee. [Exit. Chorus. O ye who glory in a line down cast, Erinnys fates, who have o'erthrown Oedipus' house in such wise, to the last foundation stone, What shall be my resolve? How dare I fail thee to lament, to attend thee to the grave? Yet, oh, a people's wrath, whereat I quail, I dare not brave. Thou, over thee shall troops of mourners bend. All tears of sorrow shall he miss. That only a sister's wail should him attend, who can brook this? Half Chorus i. Nay, whatsoe'er they wreak of penalty On Polyneikes' mourning train, We will go with him. To the grave will we escort thy slain. This stroke hath touched the whole house. Rules of right 'mid peoples aye are wavering. Half Chorus 2. We dare not do the state the law despite. We attend the king. For him the blessed ones and Zeus's might Have helped, that he saved Kadmus' town From overthrow, that alien surge of fight Whelmed it not down. [Exeunt, half the Chorus accompanying Antigone, and half Ismene. End of Part II. Recording by Expatriate in Bangor, Maine. End of 7 Against Thebes by Aeschylus. Translated by Arthur Sanders Way, 1847 1930.